It's really a privilege, sir. We are so happy to host all of you, and I'm sure there are a lot of discussions which are happening in separate cars. So we we don't know. But I thought this was just one forum where we could hear from each one of you what your observations and advice to us. So where do we start, Sunilji?
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to visit and to interact the ground level staff farmers who are practicing the natural farming in larger area in big blocks of maybe rice or horticulture based systems. And there are many learning for us also, and we have seen very encouraging things on the field, good crop health, and possibility of economic gain. Also, we have seen that the crops are safer when there are some cyclones or adverse conditions, and there are a lot of enthusiasm from the farmers' point of view, and very good participation of women participants. That is very important, and the involvement of cluster approach, maybe village level approach. That is another thing we have noticed. But the point I would like to suggest that with the involvement of the graduates and postgraduates, we have lot of data to be recorded, scientific understanding, and scientific basis of what we have, what we are getting after 7 or 8 years or more than that, what those impacts actually visible, what is the science behind it. So since you are practicing maybe more than 5 years, so now this is the right time that we should have a series of data, complete data for understand the science. That adaptation level at lower scale it may go beyond that, but for having better understanding, in my opinion, we should have a very good understanding of the science clearly, so that we can send this message and better adoption and future prospect can be seen. So thank you very much. Since we are our institute and our is having this type of counseling through our network program, 20 centers, natural farming, and we have very defined and characterized programs, network program. We are having also observations and data. So I think your observation and where scientific data is being taken, that will be complementary, and we can reach at some conclusion. So thank you very much for giving me opportunity to come over here and take part in this discussion. Thank you.
So this scientific data you mentioned, can both of us, can we all agree? We are having some input, some output. So that's what is happening in other states, this one. So that would be, so we would request you.
Certainly.
Between our team, your team.
Yes, yes, we can discuss further.
Okay, no, this is an excellent suggestion. We are very happy with this.
First, I would like to compliment our vices for doing a very wonderful work, and NITI Aayog had been all the time partnering with our vices, and we have been working together. And I think RYSS started its work on natural farming in 2017, but in NITI Aayog we started the similar time. And Vijay Kumar sir was the all the time was a partner from the state government side, and also as a mentor also, and experts in the field. So sir, I'm very happy that you are doing this work very well with the involvement of the farmers, and also involving our young graduate friends from the villages. And through ROSS, we are providing them a platform. And I'm very happy I'm seeing the women power, and you have regarded them since the beginning. And the only thing that I would like to reiterate again, since RYSS is doing very good work, and our Honorable Prime Minister is very much uh, interested to improve the our farming system, and through promotion of sustainable agriculture practices, and under sustainable agriculture practices, our natural farming is going to play a very important role. So, sir, the experience that AP is having last 7, 8 years, Now we would like to understand the challenges and also if some precautions we have to take to implement the natural farming in other states. That will be very helpful, sir, at the planning level and policy level. And since ICR is here, so my request would be from our DDG sir and our director, since they have already collected the data. So without going further, that you add this parameter, that parameter, can you analyze the available data sets so you can draw the inferences and the outcomes? Or further you can do, because we cannot wait 3 years more to promote this natural farming, and we would like to get the immediate data to support our policy and our programs. So, sir, if you can depute one of the group of scientists to work with this team, so they can sit together and they can analyze the data which are available. If some gaps are there, they can take care, but on the basis of the available data sets, we can draw the inferences and we can bring out some good joint publication. And that will be helpful for the ministry and that will be helpful for the NITI Aayog also. And the as our member I think will cover that marketing. Since now such number is very large, so we have to think about the marketing channel so our farmers should get the relative prices. And the third is the quality control of the inputs also. This is becoming one of the important factor, since once we will work throughout the country, so people should not raise concern about the quality that we are going to use in our natural farming. So if some SOP on the basis of your experience, okay. So this is the SOP for like today we have visited that bioinput resource center. So what should be our temperature? What should be our relative humidity? If temperature is beyond this, then you can preserve your Jivamrit and Jivamrit, Bijamrit for how many times, how many days. So if madam that can be prepared, that will be helpful for other states government. Otherwise, whatever experience you have get in 7-8 years, then they have to start again from zero. So these are the few things, and the like is your farmer scientist program and your BSc and 4 years natural farming program. Since ICR is here, so you just through your university vice chancellor madam, you can get the recognition, accreditation of your course. Then your people can go in other states for training them, and they will also get the job. This is okay. NITI Aayog is working with advisors, so I am having so many things to say that we will discuss again together. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And you have been all the time source of strength and mentor for me particularly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And because of our honorable member initiative, he wanted that we should go. We spent 2 days there and learn from the field. So thank you, sir. It was a great learning because of your leadership. We could learn so many things from them. Thank you, sir.
ఈరోజు ఇక్కడ మన మధ్యలో పెద్దలు నీతి ఆయోగ్ సభ్యులు రమేష్ చంద్ర గారు ఉండడం, అలాగే ఐసీఆర్ నుంచి డీడీజీ గారు, అలాగే ఏడీజీ గారు, స్పెషల్ చీఫ్ సెక్రటరీ గారు, ఇలా అందరూ ఉండడం మాకు ఎంత సంతోషం. ఎందుకంటే మన రాష్ట్రంలో ప్రజలకి తెలుగే అర్థమవుతుందని తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. Okay, shall we speak in English?
No, but I'm happy you started in Telugu so that కొంచెము వారు మన ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ గురించి ఏం చెప్పారు కొంచెం వారికి చెప్పి మళ్ళీ మీరు ఇంగ్లీష్ చెప్పారు.
ఓకే ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు మనము ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఎన్నో పురుగు మందులు, రసాయనిక ఎరువులు ఇవన్నీ వాడటం మనకు అలవాటు. కానీ ఇప్పుడు మీరు స్వయంగా మీ అనుభవంతో మీరు న్యాచురల్ ఫార్మింగ్ చేస్తున్నారు, చాలా సంతోషం. అంతేకాదు మీరు చేస్తున్నటువంటి దాంట్లో నేను 2 రోజుల నుంచి గమనించిందంటే చాలా పద్ధతిగా మీరు ఇష్టంగా చేస్తున్నారు. అంటే పిఎండిఎస్ వేయడం కానీ, మల్టీ క్రాప్స్ వేసుకోవడం కానీ, లేకపోతే మీరు చేస్తున్న ప్రతి పని మీరు ఒక ఇష్టంగా చేస్తున్నారు. చాలా సంతోషం. మీరు చేస్తున్న పనిలో మీకే డిఫరెన్స్ తెలుస్తూ ఉంది. అంటే మీరు ఇట్లా రూట్స్ పీకి చూసినప్పుడు రూట్ అక్కడ అబ్జర్వ్ అయినటువంటి ఆ సాయిల్కి ఉన్నటువంటి ఆ బ్యాక్టీరియల్ ఇనాక్యులెంట్స్ అంతా మీకు కనపడతా ఉన్నాయి. ఆ విధంగా మీరు చేస్తున్నారు. మీరు చేసేది ఇంకా 10 మంది రైతులకు చెప్పండి. అలాగే మీరు రికార్డ్స్ ఇవన్నీ చాలా చక్కగా చేస్తున్నారు. ఈ ప్లీజ్ అందరికీ ఎంకరేజ్ చేయండి. అంటే ఇప్పుడున్నటువంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో ఖచ్చితంగా మనం ఇది న్యాచురల్ ఫార్మింగ్ అనేది ఒక అవసరమైనటువంటి పరిస్థితి కాబట్టి ఖచ్చితంగా రైతులందరూ మీరు ఒకరికొకరు ప్రోత్సహించుకొని అన్ని పంటల్లో ఈ ఈ విధానాన్ని అవలంబించుకొని మీరు ఆరోగ్యం పంట తీసుకోవడమే కాదు 10 మందికి ఆరోగ్యాన్ని పంచే ఆహారాన్ని మీరు అందిస్తారు కాబట్టి ఈ విధంగా మీరు ముందుకు వెళ్తారని ఖచ్చితంగా ఆశిస్తున్నాను. సార్ రెస్పెక్టెడ్ డిగ్నిటరీస్, సార్, as I could observe these two days of program, the farmers are following the natural farming perfectly, sir, what I could observe, because whether they are following the PMDS or multi-cropping or whatever doing the natural farming practices, they are totally involved by themselves and being practicing the natural farming, sir. And also the encouragement given from the Dr. Sri Vijay Kumar Garu and also all the team, it seems they have convinced the farmers and they are going ahead and they are doing lots of things in the natural farming practices. And this type of natural farming practices are need of the hour, sir, because we are following the traditional ways of cultivation, following the fertilizers and pesticides. But here the microbe role, what we are observing, and also we are improving the soil health, we are improving the or we are managing the pollution, not only soil, air and water, all these pollutions are being controlled because we are not going with the chemical pesticides or chemicals as such. So with this definitely we should establish the natural farming. I think what we as the university will definitely have the partnership with the RYSS, and we will have the research component also with the PG, PhD students, and also how best we can help the farmer by combining with the RYSS people, what we will think in the university level, sir, so that we will have the perfect, as sirs were telling, standard operating procedure. SOPs can be definitely formulated for doing this natural farming, because once these natural farming SOPs are finalized, it will be definitely a model for the other states to follow. So that definitely natural farming will be a model which can be adopted by all the farmers for the benefit of the farmers and also for the benefit of the humankind itself. So with this, sir, definitely we as the university will encourage the farmers and also our scientists to have the collaboration with you, and we will definitely do the research part, what Sunil sir was also telling. So we will definitely initiate from our university.
Good evening, sir. In fact, for last 2 days is very learning days for me particularly, because while science work, I would say, science work with the learned persons of natural farming, the farmers who are well trained. In my view, this is third or fourth time where I'm, visiting the natural farm. Farming is practicing, maybe at Kurukshetra, then Halol, and then in Gujarat and in Rajasthan also some of the farmers they have visited. But these two exclusive 2 days visits, and that too with the Indian brain NITI Aayog members and the senior advisors with us, and my boss DD Janaram with us, discussing a lot of things with the farmers and among us also. So earlier I was thinking that natural farming is quite stable for oil seed pulses like that, but intensive system cannot sustain. That was my fear, or my before that when I visited this farm. Now I'm fully convinced that it can happen. Godavari and this area delta region is famous globally. Rice cultivation, producing 7 ton in one season and 4 to 5 ton one in another season, more than 10 production per hectare. It's marvelous, and we were thinking that the highest fertilizer used to the morning also I was discussing in this point, that the fertilizer use per hectare is highest in Telangana, followed by and AP also. So we were just thinking that how it will be possible, but yeah, seeing is believing. I have seen with my own eyes. I have discussed many things with the farmers and the associates which are associated with this project. I have many discussions. I have taken phone, particularly two ladies. I have taken their phone, and on WhatsApp we have some discussion also. Some of the more point, as I am convinced more and more questions are coming, and I am asking that lady because she has practical experience.
She got one more question.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sir, earlier I was thinking that rice can be produced with natural farming. I was convinced. Basmati can be produced. Rice wheat, we have some problem in wheat. Some ill penalty is there. When we visited, Kurukshetra Gurukul, rice was absolutely okay. Wheat, even Haryomji was also telling that we are also having some connection with the wheat, but they have replaced with the pulses and other diversification. Sir, earlier, while studying and then as a scientist, I was not knowing two things. Role of microbes can be so great, and role of biodiversity can be so great. I was not imagining those.
You have picked up a few most important things that we have done.
What was everywhere जीवामृत ये डाल देंगे वो डाल देंगे ऐसे कर देंगे वैसे तो लोग थोड़ा सा उसको शक से देखते बट जो पावरफुल थिंग था इसके अंदर माइक्रोब्स एज वेल एज बायोडाइवर्सिटी in the yesterday also I told that yes there are barriers for the pests and diseases if we have a lot of biodiversity. I have seen growing in Haryana and Punjab only rice, wheat or cotton wheat or maize wheat, no other crops. So biodiversity we do not know. We only know that only weeds are roadside weeds are there. That is the only biodiversity. But now I am fully convinced that this can happen. And two concepts particularly what you call it as pre-monsoon dry sowing or pre-rabi drying sowing. I have many questions before coming here. I have discussed my friends. They are not very. They are also not convinced because now I will take the class of those friends who guided me wrongly. Now I am fully convinced. What is this PMDS?
Yes.
And taking the benefit of these 45 days in between two seasons, two crops, and covering the soil with the green cover. I think as far as climate change is concerned, again what you told in your first lecture that without coverage the temperature was 70 degree and it was as cool as 30 degree. For 70 I am not a taker, but it is more than 40, 50, 55, 60 degree.
No, you have to take. I'll send you a video.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
go bilkul soil temperature with the instrument we have measured.
Okay. So my it's an eye-opening experience for me, particularly. I discussed with my DD sub also, and we have a good discussion with Sunil and director sub also. So now some of the things we have to further motivate our team. Yes, it can happen. Earlier there were many ifs and buts, but now there is no confusion. And the way you got the award and the way your publication has come, so I'm pretty sure now the whole world will look on you. And one thing is very very important where ladies, women comes in front row, in front line. That mission is always always successful. So what the society as a whole, the thing you have captured in this movement, I will call it as a movement. I think that is the best way, and if you convince the women, then the things are very easy for us to move forward. My best wishes, and definitely I am very charged, and I am very. I got many good things, and it's a great experience for me to these 2 days. If I couldn't have come here, I could have lost many things. Now I'm pretty good with. I am confident, sir. So thank you very much.
So DDG Saab, you must give some more time for him to be here with us. Because he has motivated us also with his words. So please, Haji. Because then we have to start in UP और बिहार हरियाणा इन्हीं को भेजेंगे यहाँ पर तैयार करके. हाँ? No, I'm serious actually. I'm just saying because आप बोल रहे हैं ना बाकी जगह कैसे करना है. तो ये conviction की माने maybe we are wrong also, but that something is happening. We need to test it. But Rajbir, thank you so much. But I hope your DDG is kind enough to allow him to spend some more time with us. And he can be your ambassador in other states.
टिकट कैंसिल करवा लिया.
हाँ जी.
नहीं सर, मैंने आपकी जो बेस्ट टिकट देना उनके फोन नंबर ले लिया.
I am very impressed.
ऐसा है.
हाँ जी.
If he will be conveyed from heart,
हाँ जी.
then he doesn't require permission of anyone.
अच्छा.
He will move on his own. He will make you move in a visionary
Yes.
way. Who is asking you to do all this?
Yeah.
One जैसे नेचुरल फार्मिंग पे हम लोग आए हुए हैं, आई विल स्टार्ट विद समथिंग व्हाट वी लर्न इन आवर स्कूल टाइम्स. दैट वाज सिंपल प्रेयर. ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. What does that mean? I never thought at that time, but now I can tell. Om Sahana Bhavatu means everybody should survive. सभी रहे. ओम सहनौ भुनक्तु सबका पोषण. सब पोषित हो. उसी तरह से उसमें आगे अंत जो है ना, हमारी जो शिक्षा है वो सार्थक हो. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. जो है सब ऊपर वाले से आ रहा है, हमको उसको शिक्षा के रूप में सबके साथ बांटना है. अब अगर उसको जोड़ा जाए तो इट इज ऑल अबाउट, अगर उसको इससे जोड़े तो इट इज जस्ट लाइक नेचुरल फार्मिंग, है ना. एवरीबडी इज सर्वाइविंग, everybody whatever the knowledge we are getting, that is being distributed to all, and then सबका पोषण भी हो रहा है. उसमें पौधों का भी पोषण हो रहा है. Now we are going in for fodder also. जो उससे fodder निकलेगा उससे गाय जानवर जो भी खाएंगे उनका भी पोषण अच्छा होगा. अगर इसका न्यूट्रिएंट हम लोग एनालिसिस कर लेते हैं अपने नेचुरल फार्मिंग प्रोडक्ट्स का, then that will also give a very good boost that this is just like good food, and we are getting a more nutritious diet even though we can eat less. सर तो कह रहे थे कि वहाँ पे गुरुकुल में 2 रोटी की जगह 4 खाते हैं, बट तब तो फूड सिक्योरिटी की दिक्कत हो जाएगी अगर डबल खाने लगेंगे लोग तो. बट with less food, if we can get good nutrition, that is the thing. Now, sir, now that we have covered almost 5 years or 7 years in this practice, so it will be a high time to have a baseline, whatever data, whatever things we have, knowledge base that we can now list, and then we can distribute it in different verticals. That ये हमारी knowledge है, ये हमारा इस तरीके से हमने आज तक यहाँ पे आया है. अब इसमें हमको आगे बढ़ाने के लिए to replicate the things, how can we go for the standard protocols? Say for a dry land area of 1 acre, what should be the standard protocol, so that can be given to anyone. Then second, if it is rice, then what is the main crop is rice, how it will go. If it is vegetables, how it is going to help others. So that kind of protocols, that 25 biodiversity mix, what should be the actual mix, and how much it will be effective in taking up this thing in further, so that we can just simply tell others that इसमें देखो इतना ये लिया, इतना ये लिया, and then you can go further. Now once we have done all these things, then the second is the marketing, and then that is from emotion and beyond emotion and perceptions. Now it has to be practical. Beyond emotions, we are emotionally bound with this, so we are promoting it, we are practicing it, and there are several perceptions. Those perceptions are to be broken with the data. So beyond emotions and perceptions, now it has to be the practical knowledge which is to be propagated. So that should be our now the action point for coming 1 year or 2 years. So once all these are there, I hope it will be much easier. Then the standards of inputs. Say somebody is making a bacterial solution, that is, we may call it as a microbial solution or whatever. Will it be effective if it is made here in a high temperature location, and can we then sell it at up to what level, up to what distance? Say, because it's we know that the microbial this difference is coming on season to season, location to location. So cow dung, whatever microbial mixture is here, the same will not be there in the cold place. So how much that can be propagated, what is the requirement, who are going to make it, and just like I can give you one example from here, Ilodu itself. once I came for oil palm. So there is a industry. So after the distillation of all those things, now this the end product is extremely carcinogenic and bad smelling kind of thing comes out, and they store it in a pond kind of thing. So, but they were managing it very well. I thought I asked him, what is that? What mixture you are adding in this to just no bad odor is coming out of that. कहे साहब जिस सीजन में जो गाय का गोबर मिलता है we just add.
Wow.
And no other microbial mixtures. We tried it from Malaysia, we tried it from Indonesia, from where this oil palm came. So whatever microbial mixtures were there, we brought it, but that never worked. It is cow dung, which is the most effective.
Amazing.
And that too season wise. We have to get fresh cow dung every day and then adding it. So thus, these are the things. It means the cow dung also has a different microbial mixture which microbe is active in which season. That is also very important to understand. So such intricacies will come, and then say that resource center, if she is making something, up to what distance she can sell. So that standards are to be developed. So हमारा यहाँ कल इस लोकेशन का इनपुट कहाँ तक जा सकता है? It may not be just like in case of trichoderma. कभी किसी जमाने में TNAU में एक स्ट्रेन रजिस्टर हुआ था ट्राइकोडर्मा का, एंड पूरे इंडिया में उसको सेल करने लगे, but it is not effective in north. जब वो ठंडा पड़ होता है तो वहाँ तमिलनाडु वाले से अब अलग अलग जगह पे अलग अलग स्ट्रेन सर्च कर रहे हैं, एंड दे आर एक्सट्रैक्टिंग इट फ्रॉम द सॉइल, तो वहीं से अपना उसको. तो these are the things which are needed to be studied. So first, that is 5-year studies. It should be brought to some verticals that इसमें हमारा इतना काम हो गया, इसमें इतना काम हो गया, आने वाले समय में ये करना, and then all these standardization and then the protocols. So that I think is my suggestion, and really it was an eye-opening experience for me also, because every day we have some questions from different quarters and we are bound to answer those. So let us see what happens in the next, and I hope this will work. It will work in different places also. So let us work together and then build upon whatever knowledge we have. Thank you. Thank you very much.
First, many thanks to Professor Ramesh Chandji, who thought that going singly may be different than going in a team. And for this wiseful thinking, I really I salute you, because उनके लिए क्या था, अकेले भी आ सकते थे, बट उनका पर्पस ये नहीं था कि फूल मलाई ग्रहण करना, काजू खाना और बातें करना और चले जाना. But he really wanted to spend time, really wanted to go up to the roots, really wanted to understand the perception of farmers, not individual, perception of farmers. Now regarding natural farming, for last 5 to 6 years, we are speaking intensively. Since last 10 years, we were speaking something about JDM and NF and all. But last 5 years, seriously and intensively, we are speaking about. And more you try to understand natural farming, you feel more you are ignorant. And so was true here. We are very fortunate that we are able to move here and there and could see many models of natural farming. I consider myself very fortunate, because I interacted with the farmers and I have seen the models in Himachal Pradesh, in Kurukshetra, in Gujarat, in Maharashtra, in Odisha, in northeastern hilly region, and also here and there. Now we have 20 centers located in 16 different states. There also we are watching the experiment, we are observing, and also trying to understand the science behind natural farming. Fortunately, I see a constituted one committee which regularly meets, and 4 of its members, they are present here also, and very regularly, wisely, and systematically they try to analyze the situation which is appearing in the country, and also what best and what new can be done. In that context, already first document in terms of package of practice is already circulated all across the country. So now all the states, all the people in agriculture department, they are able to understand what natural farming is, but more specific, they have got the package of practice in their hand. Maybe elementary, maybe first draft, but at least some black and white document is there which explains what natural farming is and what practices are there. Today we are speaking of 9 universal principles, we call them, but it cannot be universal because everywhere that variant is there. So principles are varying here and there. But basic things, the basic philosophy behind is just rejuvenating the rhizosphere. Rejuvenation of rhizosphere is the only thing which is happening ultimately. Now your mode will be different, your approach will be different, but ultimate result which is happening inside this soil is the rejuvenation of rhizosphere that is able to bring so many positives in front, and so that we are getting very good results. It is also very pertinent to see here that the whole agriculture department, APCNF, what else you require? Rajashekar Reddy, yesterday also he came in the evening, and today whole day is present with us. Really thankful to you and the whole of your team. So intensively, the intensity by which you are doing, this intensity is not mechanical. Otherwise, T. Vijay Kumar को क्या लेना था? बहुत सारे लोग रिटायर होते, वैसे ये भी रिटायर था, ये भी अपने घर बैठ जाते, इनको भी पेंशन मिलती. But he is taking interest, getting inside, and he is trying to go for the betterment of community. And people are there, our very senior colleagues are there, who are sitting all across the table, and they are putting all their energy, all their wisdom, and the only motto is, the only benefits they are getting, that society is accepting natural farming. और जब natural farming को young people, when they are ready to accept and they are practicing, probably their joy and enjoyment is tenfold higher than what you are achieving. Friends, few of scientific things I have in my mind. Later on we will discuss Vijay Kumarji with the team and all. But now, since a few of our young colleagues are sitting here, and farmer scientists when we say, so in farmer scientist language, simplified manner, I would say, I will not speak very high-end science here. The rhizosphere means the soil below the roots. आप लोग दिखा रहे थे ना ऐसा उखाड़ के, ऐसा एक गोल सा बन रहा था. That is the rhizosphere. In rhizosphere, so many things are happening, and all across we are thinking that it is only the microorganism or microbial diversity, but it is much more than that. It is rhizosphere activity plus. What is that plus? That plus is the activation of auxins, hormones, vitamins. We rarely speak about this. Also, the canopy which we are observing either side, with chemical, with natural, some kind of physiological differences are there. The physiological functions performed by the canopy in natural farming and physiological functions performed by the canopy of mineral fertilizer or natural or chemical fertilizer farm, you will get the distinction between these. But these distinctions will be better realized by the crop physiologist than anybody else. Therefore, I see a great role of crop physiologist in this. Third most important thing is, when we use these natural farming concoctions or some extracts or cultivation of crops and all, as long as our perception is nutrient balance, we will never be able to realize the role of natural farming in this. What I have learned all across the natural farming systems in this country, because we are not limiting ourselves to cereal system like what we are doing here, rice after rice. But our experiments in 20 locations in 16 states, there we are going with the farming system typology, cropping system typology. When I talk of typology, that means you are thinking of the whole system. When you take the whole system into consideration, so many things will vary. Means a lot of variants you are bringing in between. And these variants are existing those reasons. You don't want to replace, or you don't want to suggest any crop diversification or something. So whatever is there, that we have taken. Within that, what we have observing now, if your approach is nutrient balance, A plus B is equal to C, therefore C is equal to, or A is equal to C minus B, or B is equal to C minus A. This is the balance, no? But natural farming is A plus B is equal to A, B, C. It's not. So that normal mass balance or nutrient balance doesn't work. And if you analyze from that angle, probably it will never. And this I tried to realize in the last 1 year with intensive data collection and observation and analysis and synthesis of data. So this approach from our scientific mind, if you remove this approach of A plus B is equal to C and keep the approach of A plus B is equal to A, B, C, then probably we will be able to make justice with ourselves, with our understanding, not with the narrative. The fourth important point, when we are looking at the economic benefits only, then forget it. We should not talk of natural farming. Natural farming is basically for ecological benefits. Indian agriculture has really now at the verge or even crossing the borders of economic benefits, and we have started realizing we require some revolution where ecological benefits are also got. Therefore, what I feel after watching particularly this APCNF model, that the ecological benefits, how much you are accruing, then natural farming is no more the practice of agriculture all along. It is not only agriculture university job. Natural farming is the matter of study for so many subjects and so many universities, because whole environment is getting purified. This is purification process, and therefore, just for example, wherever we visited the farms or concoctions or that bioresource center, everybody has observed that no mosquito was there, no housefly was there. So these are general observations which speaks about the societal benefits or ecological. This is happening because of the betterment or purification of the surroundings. And when this is happening, there are so many other things which are coming. We say forage, the grasses, those grasses will be eaten by the animals, the milk, quality of milk, absence of any residue in milk. All these are plus points and ecological benefits going to the society ultimately. Therefore, it is social science, it's environmental science, ecological science, everything is involved, and ultimately market. And therefore, market leakages and the research related to market is also very important. But let us start with the, now this is beginning only, at the country level, at least we should have some kind of consensus, and also we should understand and realize that one model will not be applicable uniformly across the country. Only one model, all across the country. If you talk of this kind of model in northeastern hilly region, probably nobody will listen to us. If you talk of this model in desert part of Rajasthan, nobody is going to listen. So, agro-ecosystem wise, variations are to be documented, recorded, and ICR will start working on this line also. And we will document all these things, and we will come up with, in consultation with the experts and the systems which are existing, we will come up with some information that will provide some way forward. I don't say that this is going to end tomorrow. it will provide a way forward. It will create a new knowledge for new generations. My critical observation in these 2 days APCNF and RYSS initiative in Andhra Pradesh, the key of success to me appears not the innovation, but the way knowledge is spread. Innovations are there. Innovations are there in different parts of the world. But the way you spread the knowledge, that part is very, very interesting, very important. And lastly, I would say, there are 3 dimensions of anything, mostly what we understand in ICR or agriculture. Research, extension, education. And you have made very significant impact in all 3 dimensions. So that is what we can say. I wish you all the very best, and ICR will be very happy. Wherever you feel that we are of some use to you, we'll be very happy to extend our support, help. And as suggested, we can have a small meeting with the scientific community who is involved in APCNF and our scientists working in this our natural farming program. Not only this, but also we are open from the committee of ICR, where DDG NRM is the chair. From that side also we are open to discuss at any forum. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Special thanks to Rajshekar.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. First of all, from the government side, formally I would like to warm welcome and thanks to the NITI Aayog team headed by Honorable Member Professor Ramesh Chandji and the entire team. All of you are aware, sir, that Honorable Chief Minister nowadays in any forum he takes a lot of pride in talking about APCNF, and he himself has given us a vision for the next 5 years to extend APCNF to 40% of the area of the state. He has done that because he strongly believes that APCNF is good for the state, good for the farmers. So I would like to share with the team my own personal experience. This is my second term as Special CS Agriculture. 5 years back, in fact, I took over from Vijay Kumar sir. When he retired, I became his successor as secretary in the department. So after 5 years, I've come back, and I had the briefings by both my department and RYSS. In the departmental briefing after 5 years, I found exactly there was no change. What I heard 5 years back, I heard exactly the same. And 5 years back, there was no farmer in the presentation. 5 years later, the departmental presentation had no farmers. Page 1 or slide 1 to the last slide, 50th slide, it was only about crops. And the briefing I had with sir was, the first slide was about the type of farmers, the land holdings, categories of farmers. And the second slide was about the SC farmers, the ST farmers. So it is the concern of the farmer. So I would classify the chemical farming and natural farming. The difference I see is that in chemical farming, everything revolves around crops. And in natural farming, everything revolves around the farmer. And therefore, the outcomes are different. The approaches are different. And in the departmental, last 2-3 years when I was secretary, and now the last 5-6 months, our whole worry is about you know about again the crops. I mean, whether it is tomato, onion, or paddy, the farmer comes next. I think Vijay Kumar sir has really, I would say, the big change that he has brought about in the approach. I mean, that led to the discovery of all this. We are actually, as sir says, nature has a way of doing things, and natural farming, by very definition, we are moving closer to nature, and therefore, in my knowledge as a scientist, I am myself a mechanical engineer. I feel intuitively, I feel that natural farming need not explain science, because the very fact that it is moving towards mimicking nature, it is actually moving towards more science. And Hoover does exactly the opposite. And I feel chemical farming is all about moving away from nature. And therefore, I personally feel it's the other science which has to explain why it is moving out of science, and it's not natural farming which has to prove anything. It is happening naturally. I mean, if you go and see a field, and if you and if the perception of the farmers is that their health is increasing, it is. I mean, why do we have to prove anything there? Why do we have to show any scientific coding there? Because wherever the science and scientific thing is coded, and there are tragedies that are occurring. There are, in fact, one report says from 95 to 2024, 4 lakh farmers have committed suicide. That is a fact. And most of them are tenant farmers, small and marginal farmers. So, and chemical farming is actually saving the farmers, because the whole focus is on them. Why otherwise would an ATM model evolve? Because it is from the ATM is from a farmer perspective. It is for the farmer. He has to get income every day. In chemical farming, the cycle of cash flow is maybe in a year it's twice, when he harvests the crops and sells. And nobody thought of doing anything about it, and then therefore, as we all know that in the 60s, that scientific paradigm was important, and therefore that science is evolved. And in the 80s and 90s, when that started affecting the environment, the new paradigm scientifically also, naturally also has to be born, and therefore agroecology has evolved. And I keep telling sir, the best thing about APCNF is that every day there is something new. Every day there is something new to learn. Everybody learns. And the first presentation of Vijay Kumar sir I've seen in 2017, 18, and now the 2024, it's completely different. But the presentation of the department looks the same. There's no. I mean, science has to evolve as we encounter problems. We have to find solutions, and I think in chemical farming, as I've said, we got stuck some kind of in a time warp. We got stuck in a time warp, and I think natural farming can be seen as something that is showing how actually the evolution to happen. Morning, sir. I am grateful to you. In fact, sir has shared an article which he has written recently, which has got published in EPW, wherein he actually, has written that taking into account in the context of food safety for the whole nation, because that is a fear. Everybody says if you move to organic or natural farming, and quoting the example of Sri Lanka, people say that there is a fear because there is a drop in yield and therefore will the food security get affected. Sir, I think he is the first maybe agroeconomist to have actually said, in the paper he has said that there is absolutely no harm in trying to put aside 20-30% of the area for natural farming. You still have both food safety and an alternative solution. I think, sir, you must be the only person who's thinking in that direction. We are grateful to you, and I think that will put everything in a perspective, because that the moment anybody talks about natural farming or organic, the fear, everybody says it's good, but the fear that will it affect the food. I think your article and your articulation will definitely help not just Andhra but other states to look at natural farming in a more positive way, and actually initiate uh, the process. Lastly, sir, as Chaudhary Saab just now mentioned, the key in Andhra, the key to success is the women farmers, and I think it didn't happen just like that. In fact, Jay Kumar sir leveraged the social capital which he himself built over a period of 20 years, and that's the strength that Andhra Pradesh state has, which I think if I can name, I think it's only states like Bihar and Kerala which have similar social capital built over the period of time. But that is essential. I mean, natural farming didn't initiate the formation of these groups. The groups exist. We just leveraged that strength. And my own experience being involved in that SNG movement is that women have. I keep saying women have a totally different DNA to men, and that what emerges from that DNA is, first they think about the family, then they think about the larger society, much more than men think of. Men essentially come from a very, very selfish kind of intuitiveness, but whereas women always think about not them first, but about even if the husband beats her, she first thinks about him, children, family, and then the larger society. And therefore, I myself in different departments, I was in PR, Panchayati Raj, I use them for, any task that you give, they do it, extremely efficiently and with a lot of integrity, with a lot of commitment. And therefore, I'm not surprised that our APCNF, with their involvement, has reached this stage, and it will reach whatever way we facilitate it, because the core, because it revolves around this kind of social capital. And therefore, I think one thing that you should insist on other states to, if they have to replicate natural farming to a scale, you are actually bang on when you said the scaling happens only because of the way it is done in AP, and that is through the CRP methodology and using women CRP. There is no other way to do it, and therefore other states, that will be the biggest limiting factor. If they don't have this kind of a social capital, I don't know, it may take years for you to really scale to the kind of scale that AP has achieved in less than 7-8 years. So I'll stop here, sir, and I once again like to thank you on behalf of the entire government of AP for your leadership and for the team's spending quality time of 2 days with us and in a very involved kind of state, because I've seen the way all of you have interacted with the key stakeholders, and I'm grateful for the feedback that you have given. It gives us a lot of hope, and also it will be an inspiration for us to take it to the next level. Thank you very much, sir.
If you want, and the last word for you, sir. Sir, because I thought you will then guide all of us. No, sir, 5 minutes.
So
only.
interesting.
Yeah. I'm conscious of this.
7 o'clock to 6:30.
Thank you very much, sir. కొంచెం తెలుగులో చెప్తాను ముందు, దెన్ సో ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన చాలా పెద్ద టీం ఇది. మన ఢిల్లీ నుంచి రావడం జరిగింది. సో మీరందరి పని కూడా వారు చూశారంటే యు ఆర్ వెరీ లక్కీ. ఇట్స్ లైక్ డిఫరెంట్ వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్స్ హావ్ యాక్చువల్లీ సీన్ యువర్ రికార్డ్స్. సో చాలా అదృష్టం మీకు, ఇంత గొప్ప టీంతో మీరు ఇంటరాక్ట్ కావడం. చాలా మంచి సలహాలు ఇచ్చారు, అది తర్వాత మీకు మీ అందరికీ పంచుకుంటాను. సార్, గ్రేట్ఫుల్ టు యూ సార్. రియలీ ఐ మీన్ I didn't expect. Today I regard these 2 days as a watershed in the whole of the way, because there have been antagonistic approaches. In the sense, ICR saying there is no science in this, and we are saying, we are getting results. We may not know the science, but coming together, sir, really because I've been in this now for 9 years, and I've seen of course, one way I think Chaudhary sir, ICR saying there's no science in this also helped me. It provoked me. उनको prove करना है science है. So I'm grateful for that purpose also. Because then, but results are coming. See, the confusion was, किसान खुश है, रिजल्ट आ रहा है, कम खर्च है, तो साइंस क्यों नहीं हो सकता इसमें? Then I discovered there is so much not known. And so even today we are making progress, but still I think there's so much more. All of you pointed out also. There's so many gaps. So I think really, sir, thanks to you. I'm very grateful to you, sir. Thanks to you, we have been able to bridge the gap. There's a respect on both sides. And also, as I think you're very conscious, sir, it has to go to the country. Then you can't have a mainstream science establishment saying something and then a set of another practitioners saying another thing. So this effort is really very, very important, sir. When the whole country needs to take a view. So I'm very grateful for that, sir. Then the other thing is for scaling up, sir. I'm just picking up on what Rajshekhar said and what Chaudhary Saab said and Rajbir also. That scaling up, one is the knowledge. I think in Andhra Pradesh, sir, we are lucky because we have a dedicated organization meant only to implement this program. So, Raitu Sadhikara Samastha, I have no other work except this. But in all the states, we are interesting natural farming from the Ministry of Agriculture to the Agriculture Department. For them, this is 1 out of 30 items of work. तो वो प्रॉब्लम है सर. तो स्केलिंग अप नहीं होने का मतलब यही है कि देयर इज नो फोकस अटेंशन. सो देयर मस्ट बी सम व्यू टेकन एज टू हु इज गोइंग टू इम्प्लीमेंट. दैट ऑफ कोर्स वी लीव इट टू ईच स्टेट, बट देन इफ यू जस्ट entrust it to the, it's like riding 2 horses. Then that's Rajshekhar's dilemma also. Because on one side he has to supply fertilizers, he has to ensure pesticides are provisioned, otherwise the farmers will be doing a dharna and all that. So it's difficult, sir. That's the reason why we are having a problem. So in our state, we set up this organization and said, you don't have any other work. You only do this, and over a period of time, you change farmers into this. So that is one critical part. Second, all of you have pointed out the role of women. So the knowledge part is fine, but women self-help groups are the critical parts. So luckily, every state has this network, and thanks to National Rural Livelihoods Mission. So somewhere when we are thinking of taking national mission for natural farming, involving Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Rural Development would be very important, sir. The third thing is one principle we followed, sir, right from day one, that if you have not done natural farming, you don't have any business to tell others. So the CRP approach, that means the practitioner is a teacher. So that has paid us, and also we recruited young BSc Agriculture, MSc Agriculture students. 2 years they became farmers. अभी हमारा अभी another 200 people are undergoing training. So 2 साल तक वो किसान बनेंगे. Because थोड़ा unlearning है, lot of unlearning, relearning. So my entire establishment has essentially practitioners. So the perspective is different. And I'm so grateful to Dr. Varaprasad, Dr. Raidu, Dr. Maheshwari. I'm not able to imagine what journey they have traveled. Because being from one side, they have come this side. So I'm so grateful to them because they are providing me structure, but they are doing it because they are also moved. It's a personal journey for each one of them. But it's not easy. I mean, I'm so grateful to them that they have traversed that path. And I'm thankful to each one of you for so many suggestions that you have given. And I'll be grateful to you, sir, if we can have at some stage a meeting just to see, what we can benefit, how we can work with each other, both short term and long term. And any guidance for our farmer scientists and in developing it further, I would really look up to your wisdom, sir, because I believe that these people will play a very important role because they're in their own way they're able to explain the science to the farmers. तो अच्छा है बोल रहे हैं लेकिन क्यों अच्छा है मालूम नहीं. So with this, sir, I know we are running out of time. So just to thank you, sir, personally, because you brought your entire team. So I'm very, very grateful to you, sir. Thank you.
सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. मैं ये टाइम बार बार इसलिए देख रहा था कि मैं बहुत कुछ बोलने का मन है, लेकिन वही है इकोनॉमिक्स में कि भाई आपकी बार्स अनलिमिटेड है, रिसोर्सेज लिमिटेड है, तो एक कंप्रोमाइज करना पड़ता है. तो मैं वो सोच रहा था कि मैं जो कुछ कहना है उस पर कितना कंप्रोमाइज करूं बोलने के लिए, लेकिन मन जो है बहुत आपसे बात करने का है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थोड़ा सा मैं इसको एक और बैकग्राउंड से लिंक करना चाहूँगा. हम हर स्टेप पे एक डायलेमा फेस करते हैं टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट इज़ राइट व्हाट इज़ रॉन्ग. ये हर कदम पे होता है. मैं ये चाय पीऊँ या नहीं पीऊँगा, एसिडिटी हो जाएगा, नहीं पीना ठीक है, मुझे थोड़ा एनर्जी मिलेगा. लाइक दिस छोटे से लेकर बड़े से बड़े तक ये एक हमारे लिए हमेशा एक डिसाइड करने के लिए इशू होता है कि अभी मुझे ये चॉइस करना है, इसमें व्हाट इज़ राइट एंड व्हाट इज़ रॉन्ग, विच चॉइस आई शुड गो फॉर एंड विच आई शुड नॉट गो फॉर. और ये डिसाइड करने में हमारा जो एनवायरनमेंट है, हमारा जो ब्रॉट अप है, जो हम पढ़ते हैं, जो हम सुनते हैं, कमर्शियल इंटरेस्ट का इन्फ्लुएंस, वो सारे उसको इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं. लेकिन मेरा एक अनुभव है, गलत हो सकता हूँ, कि एक जो कॉन्शियस जिसके बारे में आजकल बहुत कुछ लिखा जा रहा है, हार्ड साइंस ऑफ कॉन्शियस एंड ऑल दोज थिंग लोग लिख रहे हैं, वो आपको हमेशा एक इंडिकेशन देती है कि क्या सही है और क्या गलत है। लेकिन एक्सटर्नल इन्फ्लुएंस उसको कई बार चेंज कर देते हैं, लेकिन वो एक थोड़ा सिग्नल आपको जरूर देती है कि दिस इज राइट एंड दिस इज रॉन्ग। तो इसके बारे में, नेचुरल फार्मिंग के बारे में, जब मैंने 2017 में पहली बार विजिट किया तो मेरे मन में बहुत ज़्यादा इसके बारे में स्केप्टिसिज्म, सवाल खड़े हुए मेरे मन में। वो इसलिए भी खड़े हुए कि चाहे मैं इकोनॉमिस्ट हूँ, लेकिन मैं साइंस पॉलिसी में बहुत इंटरेस्ट रखता हूँ और उसका मैं बहुत पढ़ता हूँ। लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं कॉन्शियस में ये बार बार आ रहा था कि इसे इग्नोर करना भी सही नहीं होगा। बस कमिंग टू माय माइंड, ये एथिक मॉरल सवाल होते हैं कि इसे इग्नोर करना जो है वो सही नहीं होगा। तो उस देर से चलता रहा और लकीली हमारे यहाँ नीलम जी आई और शी इज ऑलरेडी कन्वर्टेड टू नेचुरल फार्मिंग। हालात के हिसाब से कभी आदमी को लो प्रोफाइल करना पड़ता है, कभी हाई प्रोफाइल, वो अलग चीज़ है, बट एट हार्ट शी इज फुल्ली कन्वर्टेड टू नेचुरल फार्मिंग। लेकिन मेरी सिचुएशन थोड़ा फ्लूड रही because I am answerable to wider constituency, कहीं गलत ना हो जाए, कहीं ये ना हो जाए, वो ना हो जाए। तो finally अब because now Prime Minister is giving this slogan again and again, and it comes on us that we have to do it. Like this, so many ideas, people come to NITI because they feel it is a platform through which we can give push to our idea. And I find 99.9% ideas जो होते हैं उनमें without substance होता है, but commercial angle से they project it to you in such a wonderful manner. Recently also I forwarded you copy of email which I wrote to Mr. Walia in USA. You got it, no? So those kind of, but my conscience says that idea has no substance. So I told him, you please deal with the concerned person. And most of time of thinker, government people is, I would say, spent in taking decision on useless ideas. It is just a matter of luck that sometimes good idea may come to you. And again, probability of selecting that, you now imagine how much rare chances are for a good idea to succeed. I give you one example that 3-4 years back, one person like Neelam, another person who were vertical heads, started pushing for artificial intelligence. People from top level of AI institution, globally most famous, they came and made presentation how they can help farmers in semi-arid tropics in choosing what is the right time, with ensuring that their crop will not fail, this thing and that thing. But since I come from a farming family, agriculture, so many years experience, the moment you ask two questions, they fall like castle of sand, nothing. Another came, we have a technology, you don't have to set up a saying lab, just through our AI we will tell what is the quality of this apple, what is quality of this onion. We have AI, no need for grading. Again you ask them two questions, nothing. During the third presentation, I don't know whether Neelam, you were there in that presentation or not. I told them, please leave us alone. We have enough real intelligence which need to be tapped. So I would first like to tap that and then turn to you to use artificial intelligence. But even now, I am not dismissing that science. It is having. But how you use in agriculture, I did not get any convincing answer to do that. But I really feel so happy that when Neelam came to me that this is what decision is taken, how we take it further, I really thank my staff that I decided to go for this approach that we will first go as a team, and seeing is believing. We will see what is happening in Andhra, but change has happened in 7 years when I last visited. And secondly, I feel grateful to myself that I chose team. So as Chaudhary Saab said, and today demonstrated that A plus B is not equal to C. It is A, B and C and something more. So that power of collectivism is always much, much stronger than some of individual doing these things. So if I had come alone, he had come alone, he had come alone, she had come alone, probably we would not have that kind of environment would not have been created to understand natural farming and to observe natural farming. Again, so many interesting stories, but I now come to this natural farming, little bit background. You all know that world is really worried about future of food, and also because of that our own future. Where we will ultimately go if we keep eating the food which is produced using the present methods of cultivation, use of input, etc. I am not against those, but that has implication. That if we are producing food in a particular way, certainly it will affect flora, it will affect fauna, and it will affect the planet. Nothing goes without effect. Sometimes we notice, sometimes we don't notice. So globally, this recognition is there that this practice is not sustainable from nature's point of view. It involves overexploitation of natural resources. It involves degradation of natural resources. It is adverse for ecology. It is adverse for biodiversity. All those kind of things. So because of that, globally there is a search for alternative. It's not that only in India. Globally there is a search for alternative. That what could be alternative, and people are trying different kind of way. Science is trying on its own that okay, we can do some wonder that one plant which is giving you 60 grain, we can make it to give you 600 grain. People are thinking of those kind of things, working. That what is the alternative that that we need to develop, and natural farming among all those alternatives which are being considered. If I look at that, from where the biggest promise is coming, where you can have the desired results in the nearest future, that seems to be natural farming, but it will not give the results automatically. We need to capture it and we need to properly develop it and harness it. Dr. Chaudhary also talked about that economic benefits, ecological benefits. Being economist, let me share with you that fundamentally the future of anything is decided by what are the contribution in terms of ecology, what are the contribution say in terms of energy balance, what are contribution in terms of input output balance in nature. The return in terms of economics in some sense are totally artificial. Artificial in the sense that today your natural farming, because it is selling rice at 30 rupees, it is not justified on economic ground, but you say price is 60 rupees, it gets fully justified. But you can't do that in terms of the relationship of your natural farming with nature. Huh? That remain within boundaries of the nature, that it will behave in a particular manner. So those kind of things you can change only with technology. That technology can make it. That if with 1 kg of nitrogen you are producing 6 kg rice, they can make it possible that instead of 6 kg you can produce 9 kg. They can make it. So that relationship of nature can be changed with science. But economic relationship uh, should take into cognizance all those kind of things, and then the economic parameters, that too in terms of policy, should be decided, because that is something which is artificially superimposed for running of the system. So basic criteria for natural farming are: what is its relation with ecology, what is its relation with nature, and what is its relationship with the health of people, and what is its relationship with, which is emerging as a very big problem, of climate change. That is what will determine what happens to planet, what happens to people in the large sense. And today, after seeing this natural farming on the ground, there are clear indications that natural farming certainly is superior in most of the parameters related to nature and all those kind of things, and it is making use of relationship given in nature to serve our food and all those things. And even in terms of economics, at present pricing of things, this does not seem to be unfavorable. This seems to be turning favorable, and this is how we are molding it to be turned out to be economically justified. And as we will go along, you will find that many cultural benefit also will come, that involving women, bringing farmer back into farming. So, to influence that kind of opinion, I was just talking to Neelam if we can do that kind of thing. So, I'm happy that all members of my team, they look at this natural farming with a critical mind. Skepticism is okay, but dismissal and ridiculing is not right thing to do. Some people ridicule on both sides, that natural wala to others and all those things, but all members of the team, they have looked at this what is happening in Andhra Pradesh with open mind. In fact, when we started from Delhi, we just talked to each other that we will go with open mind. We will not go with any preconceived idea, which is better, which is not. We will go with open mind and we will observe what is on the ground, and based on that we will take it further. Then I would just say that sometime back there was one article in economics. I quoted a couple of places. That article, again, interesting background, but some other time I will share with you. The title was, "There is madness in my method, or is it vice versa?" So coming to natural farming and method of Vijay Kumarji, that if I look at it, there is a madness in his method, or is it vice versa? I think it is vice versa. There is no madness in his method, but there is a method in his madness. So when you do something to really push something, you have to be mad. Without getting mad, you can't achieve great things. That is what our culture tells us, that this is how we should be going for it. So I think we now need to promote this as a concept which is distinct, and we have so many kind of things. Some people doing something in some farm in one way, some people doing in other way. So even in my paper, when I wrote that there is a need to apply science in natural farming, I was not meaning that there is no science in natural farming. What I meant was that we need to apply more science into natural farming. If you do not apply science into anything, then you don't evolve. And evolution is must. Howsoever superior you may be today, If you are not applying science, you lose it. One of my friend Hiroshima Japani, he told me interesting story. He said before World War, Japan was stronger than USA, though it was a small country. That's how, with that confidence, they bombarded Pearl Harbor in San Francisco. Huh? They thought we are so great, we have so much technology. But then, after that, they found that aeroplane with nuclear bomb, etc., came, and Japan didn't have. He said his father used to pick up bamboo, so much frustrated Japanese that we are samurai, we are so strong, but defeated. And he said with bamboo he used to aim at those US aeroplanes, that how I can shoot you with my bamboo. That I don't have technology to shoot you. That was expressive of that you don't have technological superiority. And I think it is a constant kind of thing that if you don't improve, then it is a dogma. Then it is a dogma, and if you improve, then it becomes science. And throughout the world, people are telling that Vedic knowledge, Vedic philosophy, Vedic spiritualism is a science. They say you question everything. Don't follow anything. If you really listen to Vedic kind of real literature, Swami Sarpriyananji or anything, you will just see that they encourage you to asking questions. They even go to the extent of saying that we don't say that you believe there is a God. We just want you to ignore your ignorance to understand what is Atman, what is Brahman, and both are same. It is because you are ignorant, that's why you are not able to reach that point. You acquire that knowledge to remove ignorance. So that is essence of Vedic philosophy, that through knowledge we approach things, with knowledge we improve things. So I am happy that whatever was originally conceived as natural farming, Vijay Kumar ji has improved upon it. He has really introduced new kind of things there with biodiversity, with seed coating. They were not there. I have all the books once I took from Subhash Palekar ji. Those kind of things were not there. So he is flexible and he is introducing things. This is the way to take up things in future. So I would just say that we are going back with a lot of earning, and I hope my team member also with change of mind. And it looks like that natural farming, this Andhra Pradesh model of natural farming, has reached a stage of takeoff. It must now take off, and it needs scaling up. It needs to be taken to other states, but that responsibility should not rest on state of Andhra Pradesh. That responsibility will rest on central government. So we will see. We will, when we go back, we will hold another meeting involving all of us. We will just do further churning, and we will see that how we prepare the agenda to take this natural farming to next level, to spread it to other states. That is the real purpose. But as of now, I feel that there is a logic behind it, and there is a potential in it to be taken without burying about Sri Lanka kind of situation. We need to see because those people who think about those kind of things, they are also right that India could save Sri Lanka, but nobody can save India. 140 crore people, who can save? 140 crore people can save 2 crore people. But 2 crore people can't save 140 crore. So we will think about all these aspects, and then we will take further steps. Of course, we will involve at appropriate time Vijay Kumar ji, bureaucracy of Andhra, Raja Shekhar ji, and take also help of CM Sahab for pushing this. He certainly has a deep interest in it. In April, I visited him. I had a meeting with him 1 to 30 minutes, and he mentioned about it. I also mentioned certain things to him, and he took it supportively. So again, I would say that all good things have to come and end, but at the end, I think we should all express our gratitude that there is a person who, without caring about criticism, without caring about how people were guiding him, ye Gomutra science and all those kind of things, he is without ignoring, as we say, कि हाथी का काम है चलना, कुत्तों का काम है भौंकना. He really, and with that spirit, and it now looks like that the seed which he has sown, now it is becoming tree, and it is already bearing some fruit on earlier branches. But I hope the entire tree will soon start bearing the fruit. At one stage we will reach. To me today it looks like when country will feel gratitude to you. Thank you. Again, this Andhra Pradesh natural farming, it is not a bureaucratic driven development process. Generally you find there are bureaucratic driven process. So this process, even in terms of extension, is using farmer as extension agent. It is using farmer as scientist. And it is, I think, real people-centered involvement. Many a time we teach advantage of people-centered involvement. So really, these farmers, they are again, do not misunderstand me, that like when Buddhism had to spread, Buddha had to take help of bhikshus. So they are like your bhikshus.
చాలా గొప్ప విషయం చెప్పారు మీ గురించి. ప్రకృతి వ్యవసాయము విస్తరించాలంటే మీ చాలా ముఖ్యమైన పాత్ర ఉంటుందని మీ అందరికీ అభినందనలు తెలియజేశారు.